And I know the beginning of how the exotic started. It was a lot of bulldog put in there, a lot of Frenchie put in there, and the paperwork. You know what I mean? All of these exotics basically have hung paperwork. If you really dig back to the beginning, because in the beginning it was just UKC paperwork. In order to get ABKC paperwork back in the day, you had to take your UKC paperwork, send some pictures, then they would approve or deny it and give you the ABKC. Then you got the ABR and stuff where they would just allow you to, if you had UKC, transfer that over. And sometimes they wouldn't even ask for pictures. So a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? 10 years ago, these exotics still had American Pit Bull Terrier paperwork. And you can't tell me that you can selectively breed. See, the excuse they used to make in the beginning, why when I got started with it, they said these little short dogs came from selectively breeding American Staffordshire Terriers. So if you keep breeding the Staffordshire Terrier over and over again, you think you're gonna get a 9-inch nano, it's never gonna happen. You had to incorporate some other stuff in there to get this look. And a lot of people were in denial, you know what I mean? I
What
know what's really behind a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it's just a
with
lot of history. We can go on and on
with
forever about this stuff, man.
just to touch on what you just said, why do you what's the big issue in the mirage thing with people just keeping it 100 with what was added to these dogs to create this dog? Okay, this was added to create these dogs, and now we here with these dogs, and these are the
Ray
style of dogs we like, and we're gonna start to breed these
Ray
dogs.
Charles can see what the hell was going on behind these bullies. I knew from day one.
You could tell by the
I
features
knew I
of
knew
these
from
dogs.
I knew from day one. See, it was all about who got caught doing it, who did it and got away with it. Now, if you got caught red-handed adding some bulldog into your stuff, oh, you would have been, if it was back then and before Christ, you get stoned, you know what I mean, in the middle of town, you get caught breeding the bulldog. So but it was all about who can do it and not say nothing. And next thing you know, you got thick puppies with wrinkles and rolls, full tails, and no nobody bat an eye. But if they found out that's what you were doing, oh, you all hell would break loose. So people just they're in denial, man. Like these bullies got bulldog behind them. That's why you see the issues. The regular pit bulls never had skin allergies. The regular pit bulls didn't have
Breathing
breathing
issues.
issues. They didn't have underbites. The underbites come from the Frenchies. The underbites come from the English bulldogs, the old English bulldogs, and stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? I was back when that transition. I admit that I was adding that shit in there, but I was up front. I had the balls in the beginning to say this was what I was doing, and a lot of people didn't like it. And it was breeders in Cleveland that was talking so much shit about me back then. And when I told you my mom got cancer and I had to stop breeding, when I was not able to breed, I was looking on Instagram I'm like, this motherfucker breeding a bulldog to a bully because he trying to get the girth that I bet. My kennel name was Girth Line. I specialize in them thick dogs. And I'm like, this motherfucker was slandering me on Facebook and shit for years. And now look at him breeding the damn bulldog. And when I came back, all of the breeders that were saying shit about what I was doing, they all started doing because that's what the customers wanted. They got tired of just they wanted their exotics to have a little thicker, build to them, and they knew the only way they was going to get it was not going to come from selectively keep breeding them dogs they had on their line. They knew they had to add something in there to get that girth. So a lot of people just not honest, man. I keep it 100. I don't care. I didn't mace. I ain't even really trying to toot my own horn, but man, I didn't got everything that I wanted out of the game. I was able to, buy a house, pay off cars, boats and stuff like that. And now I'm just trying to help other people win. You know what I mean? So I can be honest and upfront and say the good things I've done and the bad things I've done, and it's not going to affect me one way or another. So that's why I gotta be honest. A lot of these guys, they're not going to have the courage to say yeah or nay. That's really what's behind. They're going to keep feeding you that lie that Oh no, you just keep selectively breeding these two 4-inch snout bullies, and eventually you'll make a nano. It's never going to happen. And the breed, if you talk to them breeders, see, I didn't spend money with thousands of dollars with the big name breeders, and you get on a phone call with them and pick their brain, and they'll even jokingly say, man, these guys are so lost. They just keep on trying to follow what's on the paperwork, and that paperwork sometimes will lead you. It's a roadmap to disaster, because you'll be, okay, this dog and this dog, if I breed these pedigrees, that's not even the real dogs on those paperwork. So you're going to be following these two maps, and your ass going right off a cliff,
And that
because it
that
ain't the real paperwork.
that's with every class of bully.
That's why you can't just go off of what's on the paper. I got it. I don't care if King Kong and Godzilla was in that pedigree as the grandparents. If this dog don't have any Godzilla build to him, I'm not trusting that he's going to produce Godzilla. Godzilla's father looked like Godzilla to a certain extent. His granddad looked like Godzilla. You know what I mean? Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He that big. You think his dad had some genetics, you know what I mean? So you could look at certain people's parents and tell, okay, I see where you got your, build from. You built like your father, or you know what I mean? But you can't tell me, oh, these little two skinny pit bulls going, you keep breeding them, they're gonna make you the next level exotic. It's not gonna happen, because it's bulldog in there.